Only after I'd successfully won her over did I realize I had the wrong mission target. Having fallen for the villain, I now had to figure out how to break up with her. I cautiously asked, "What if someone betrayed you?" She replied nonchalantly, "Throw them into the sea." Terrified, I had no choice but to transform into a stage 5 clinger, hoping she would dump me first. But then I overheard her complaining to someone else. "A clingy boyfriend is just insecure." I decided I would propose to her tomorrow. Half a year later, I had finally won over the female lead. In the dimly lit private room, Victoria Liao held a cake to celebrate my birthday. Cheers erupted around us, mixed with hushed whispers. "This Athens guy is unbelievably lucky. He just happened to find Miss Liao when she was injured. Went from a broke nobody to the boyfriend of the Liao family's heiress in one fell swoop." Victoria looked down at me. As the novel's female led, she had an incredibly beautiful face. Her long lashes cast a shadow, making her look both sweet and innocent. I didn't even have time to make a wish before I leaned in and stole a kiss. 6 months ago, I was transmigrated into this cheesy, overbearing CEO novel. Following the system's instructions, I found the injured female lead in a small alley near my house. Under my care, she quickly recovered. We smoothly started dating. At this pivotal moment, the long silent system finally came back online. "Host, I'm finally rebooted." "Wow, has the host already completed the mission? I'll calculate your accumulated points now." However, after a jumble of garbled code, the system's electronic voice was laced with horror. "Critical error detected. Host, you romanced the wrong person." The smile on my face froze. System 888 explained the current situation to me. After I transmigrated, the system told me to go to the alley to pick someone up, and then it went offline. I searched all night before finding an unconscious Victoria. She was a beauty with long legs. I just knew she had to be the female lead. After picking her up and caring for her so diligently, it turned out to be the wrong person. I was devastated. So what do I do now? Apologies, host, but we still have to romance the female lead to complete the mission. We can only ask you to find a way to break up with the villain. In the novel, Victoria Liao was a scheming villain with ruthless methods. In short, pissing her off was worse than death. How was I supposed to break up with her? I looked up and met Victoria's gaze, only to hear her say gently, "Make a wish. Whatever you want, I'll do my best to make it happen." The room was filled with noise, but no one doubted the words of the great Miss Liao. Under everyone's admiring eyes, I forced a smile, screaming internally, "Oh God, I messed up. Just let me break up with Victoria." I watched the candle go out, full of hope, only for it to be relit the next second. After the party, Victoria and I went home. She was especially passionate tonight, giving me a searing kiss even in the elevator. Victoria's lips were cool and soft. In the heat of the kiss, I was nearly suffocating. The system yelled in my ear, "Host, stop enjoying it. We have to break up with her." I tried to hold on to a shred of sanity. "Victoria, I have something to tell you." Go ahead. Can you stop for a second, though?" Distracted, I blurted out my true thoughts. "Let's break up." The air instantly froze. Victoria's movements stopped. She lowered her eyes to look at me, her dark pupils like ink. "What did you say?" Her voice was soft, her tone still calm, but it made my heart pound. Was this the oppressive aura of the villain? "System, I'm scared." I quickly retracted my breakup declaration. "I feel like you don't like me, so I don't want to like you anymore either." Victoria's cold expression softened, and she lifted her head to continue kissing me. Her dense kisses fell on my eyelids. "Why would you think that?" I tried to guide the conversation. "Our statuses are too different. Your feelings for me are most likely just a form of repayment. You were injured, helpless, and you mistook gratitude for love. So, you should come to your senses." Victoria let out a soft chuckle. You didn't say that before. You said, a small kindness should be repaid with overwhelming gratitude, and that a life-saving debt should be repaid with your body. I had indeed spouted that nonsense, because I thought I had it all figured out. Love is about setting someone free, about letting go. I can't force you. Victoria didn't answer. Instead, she dragged me directly into the master bedroom and pushed me onto the bed. Love is possession, it's destruction, it's getting what you want by any means necessary. So, you can keep forcing me. A burning heat spread from my earlobes to my whole body. Oxygen was stolen, and I nearly passed out. Only one thought remained in my head. Who exactly was forcing whom? When it was over, I was too tired to lift a finger. Victoria kissed my forehead. Don't talk about breaking up again. I could only nod aggrievedly. I remembered how, back then, Victoria would blush if I so much as stole a kiss. It was all my fault for not holding back and tricking her into bed. Ditching her and running for my life was the best plan. Late at night, Victoria took a call and got out of bed. I tiptoed out of the room and heard a voice from the stairway. Miss Liao, the traitor has been caught. How should we handle him? Victoria stood on the stairs, her posture relaxed. Throw him into the sea. Anyone who betrays me, it's useless even if they run to the ends of the earth. I had transmigrated into a cheesy romance novel where the villain had global influence, could command the wind and rain, and feared nothing. Was she talking about me? If I dumped Victoria now, the fate awaiting me would be... I scrambled back into bed. No way. I had to find a way to break up with Victoria amicably, preferably by making her dump me. I called the system. What do women hate most in a man? A mooch, lazy, materialistic. I nodded, then shook my head. Only women who aren't rich hate materialistic men. Victoria has too much money. That trick won't work. But I decided to try anyway. After all, I'd seen countless questions online saying that I could spend her money, but she shouldn't be the one to proactively ask. So maybe Victoria also hated the type who actively asked for things. My thoughts were a mess. Victoria returned. Not asleep yet? What are you thinking about? I looked at her with a meaningful gaze. The gold digger plan began. I want to buy a car. Victoria paused, but she didn't give me money, nor did she go with me to buy it. The netizens had underestimated me. Just as I was about to use this as an excuse to question if Victoria loved me, since she wouldn't spend money on me, the butler led the director of a luxury car brand in. Behind him were more than 10 employees in suits, each holding a model car. The director smiled respectfully. Have you chosen a model you like, sir? My jaw was tight. I don't like this brand. The director smiled, bowed, and left. Immediately, another director walked in. The butler introduced him. Rest assured, they are all lined up outside. Whichever brand you'd like to see, we have it. Were luxury cars too cheap for Victoria, for her to not even flinch? I want to buy diamonds. I want to buy a house. After I enthusiastically blew through her money like water, and Victoria remained unfazed, the leeching scumbag plan officially declared bankruptcy. Unwilling to give up, I asked, spending so much money, don't you feel the pinch? Don't you think I only like you for your money? Victoria was nonchalant. I'm usually busy with work and don't have time to spend money. It's a good thing I have you. I was so anxious I was spinning in circles. What do I do? What do I do? The system came online. Host, I've found a safe and painless breakup method. The smothering tactic. It means constantly clinging to the other person, making them unable to stand it, and finally achieving the goal of breaking up. This way, the other person will only feel that your love is suffocatingly heavy, without feeling betrayed, and will just want to get as far away from you as possible. My eyes lit up. Over the next period, I browsed a few guides on how to break up using the smothering tactic, then smugly began the first step. obstruct the CEO's work. I insisted on going to work with Victoria. I'm so bored at home every day. I miss you so much I can't eat. Victoria looked at me. You clearly come home later than me every day. During this time, I had been spending lavishly as if on a mission, and every time it was Victoria who would finish her work and come pick me up. The Smothering Tactic Guide, Step 2. Throw a fit, make a scene anytime, anywhere. It's all your fault for not being with me. That's why I went shopping to distract myself. I don't want your dirty money. I want your attention, your care, and your love. If you're not with me, I won't spend another dime of your money for the rest of my life. I was just trying to cause trouble. Seeing her silence, I got nervous, my heart thumping, and I started to second-guess myself. Was I being too harsh? What if she skipped the breakup and threw me directly into the sea? My aggressive front immediately crumbled. However, Victoria said in an apologetic tone, I'm sorry, I've been too busy lately and haven't been able to spend enough time with you. I was stunned. When I spoke, my voice stuttered from guilt. I was so aggressive just now, not gentle at all. Do you want to break up and find a more obedient boyfriend? Victoria raised an eyebrow, her delicate eyelids lifting slightly, her whole demeanor turning cold. Why are you bringing up breaking up again? The words break up were Victoria's emotional trigger. Just mentioning them would make her break down, instantly reminding me of her identity as the ultimate villain. I was testing you? Can't you tell? If you dare to break up, I'll hang banners at your company and post online cursing you out for being a terrible person. See, this is my twisted and crazy love. Are you scared yet? However, Victoria actually laughed, her expression happy and satisfied. Okay, I'll be waiting. Victoria probably didn't realize the severity of the problem. I had to up the ante. I threatened her. Then let me be clear. I hate women who aren't completely devoted. If you dare to cheat, I'll break up with you. You have to reply to my texts within 2 minutes, answer my calls within 3 rings, report your whereabouts every hour, be ready for me to check your phone at any time, and you have to report all your interactions with other men to me. Can you do that? Who wouldn't want to run for the hills after hearing those demands? But Victoria didn't hesitate. Okay. For the next week, I set an alarm every 10 minutes to remind myself to harass Victoria. Victoria always replied instantly. Every day, opening my phone to send a barrage of nonsense texts to Victoria felt as exhausting as writing an 800-word essay. As for checking her phone, she had already put me at the top of her contact list, labeled boyfriend. I couldn't find any fault. I scrolled through her chat history again and again, but Victoria's daily life was just work and me, with no hint of anything shady. A few days passed, and Victoria wasn't annoyed, but I was exhausted. At this rate, when would we ever break up? I had to do something big. Early in the morning, I woke up to find Victoria getting dressed. The system chimed in. Stop looking. Beauty is a curse. I guiltily turned away. Is it my fault? Who was it that ran out of battery back then and made me find the wrong person? The system went silent. Victoria leaned down and placed a light, butterfly wing kiss on my eye. Just reporting in. I have a speech at University A today, so from 9 to 10 a.m., I won't be able to reply to your messages immediately. Very well, I said stiffly. As soon as Victoria left, I shot up in bed. If I was this easygoing, how would we ever break up? I got fully geared up, putting on a baseball cap and a mask, and appeared in the auditorium. Victoria was sitting in the front row, surrounded by influential figures in the industry. A quick glance showed she was the youngest among them. A few students next to me were all talking about her. I heard from the professor that our alumna Victoria is donating $5 billion to the school this time. Damn. I'm blinded by the light of wealth. It would be great if I could get into her company during the fall recruitment. Look, that alumna is on her phone. Do successful people also play on their phones? She's probably checking financial news, calculating how to bankrupt the Wang Corporation. Actually, she's texting me. Victoria, are you awake yet? I made you porridge this morning. You can eat it as soon as you wake up. I even made a special trip to bring Aunt Feng from the old house to teach me step by step. It probably won't be terrible this time, right? I'm so bored. I want to go home and play games with you. Remember to text me back as soon as you wake up. I broke out in a cold sweat just looking at it. Why was Victoria so talkative? I hadn't even started my smothering tactic on her, and she was already smothering me. Suddenly, a round of thunderous applause filled the auditorium. I looked up to see Victoria walking onto the stage. Her assistant reached out to take her phone, but Victoria waved her away, sent a message, and put the phone in her pocket. My phone buzzed twice. It was my turn. 60-minute countdown to reply. Victoria underestimated her own influence. The content of her speech was profound, and her time management was excellent. But the Q&A with reporters and the audience was not something she could control. The students below were all eagerly raising their hands. The host suggested extending the interaction time. I looked at my watch and started bombarding her with texts as soon as it passed 10 o'clock. I'm up? Haven't had the porridge yet. I thought of you the moment I opened my eyes. Do you miss me? How many times? Are you done with work? Why aren't you replying to my messages? Didn't you say you'd reply right after 10? It's been 100 seconds, and you still haven't replied to my message. Do you not love me anymore? I hid in the crowd, grinning from ear to ear. See? What an unreasonable and inconsiderate boyfriend I was. At that moment, the host was interacting with the audience, choosing people to ask questions. Victoria suddenly spoke up. Could I take a picture with everyone? The crowd below roared, Yes! Victoria calmly took out her phone and took a picture with the audience. A student in the front row asked, Alumna, are you posting on social media? No. Sending it to my boyfriend. He's checking up on me. The crowd, loving the drama, started buzzing. Wow, your relationship is so good. Alumna, what are you and your boyfriend talking about? Let us see. I shrank into my seat, wishing I could find a hole to crawl into. I quickly sent 2 more messages. Haha, just kidding. I know you must be busy. Am I that kind of unreasonable boyfriend? I'm not. So you can reply later. I'm really not in a hurry. My useless prayers went unanswered. Victoria bowed her head and quickly scrolled through the chat, the corners of her mouth twitching up in a smile. She looked not only not annoyed, but also very happy. He's a little shy, so he won't let you see. But there's one message I don't know how to reply to. I'll teach you. I'm the love expert of my dorm. Yes, yes, yes! There's strength in numbers! Victoria frowned, reading my last message aloud. You can reply later, no rush. Does he mean he wants me to reply right away or not to reply? The students shouted in unison. He's obviously saying the opposite. He wants you to reply right now. No. My phone was buzzing nonstop. Victoria replied to each message one by one, still working. I do miss you. I miss you a lot. I love you the most. The chatter next to me drifted into my ears. I should try dressing in this style. God, give me a guy like that. This is the karma I deserve. The country is encouraging childbirth. Give me a handsome, rich guy, and I wouldn't be against considering it. Oh my God, look at the announcement in the group chat. The staff said that to make up for the delay, Alumna Victoria has prepared gifts for everyone. Go pick them up according to the sign-up list after this. Where did her boyfriend burn incense in his past life? I want to go worship there too. I'm not praying for a woman, just for wealth. Amidst the happy chatter, only I quietly closed my eyes. Never mind my life or death, I'll just self-destruct. The events of that day were posted online. Thanks to Victoria's talent, family background, and outstanding looks, the video quickly became a hot topic. Although it was quickly taken down, it still circulated among the wealthy socialite circles. The group chat exploded, with everyone tagging Victoria. I've watched it 10 times, and I still can't believe this is you. We ask you a few questions, and you get annoyed, even telling us to go to Oxford to get a refund on our tuition. The difference between being in love and not is so stark. All these years of admiring you were for nothing. Aiden is so pitiful. This comment was buried among countless messages, but I still saw it. I had only meant to casually pick up Victoria's phone, but I didn't expect this pleasant surprise. Aiden Cheng, that name sounded familiar. The system spoke up. Host, I know, Aiden Cheng is Victoria's fiancé. I hadn't even finished reading the group chat history before I was eager to see Victoria's reply. I had surely embarrassed her in front of her friends. But unexpectedly, Victoria told them, "Not at all. I just feel like I'm not doing enough, which is making my boyfriend feel insecure." The chat history was filled with question marks. Just then, a notification popped up at the top of the screen. "Victoria, I'm coming back soon. Let's meet up." The sender was Aiden Cheng. Suppressing my excitement, I casually put the phone down, pretending I knew nothing. Victoria came in with a glass of warm milk. Time for bed. She propped her chin on her hand, watching me drink the milk, not even glancing at her phone. I had to take the initiative and hint. "Your phone buzzed a few times just now. Seems like an important message. You should check it." Victoria handed me the phone directly. "You check it for me." I didn't. If I did, wouldn't I be preventing them from getting back together? I said righteously. "No phones before bed. The blue light affects your sleep." Victoria frowned. "Ethan, you've been so cold to me lately. Last week you checked my phone an average of 23 times a day. This week it's only 3. Today you haven't checked it once. Are you tired of me and want to dump me?" When I first met Victoria, I used to force her to listen to my stories before bed. Stories like those of faithless historical figures, all rewritten by me to end with them being beheaded. My warnings now came back like a boomerang, hitting me squarely in the face. I forced a laugh. "Of course not. I'm just sleepy. I'll definitely check it 23 times tomorrow, okay?" Aiden Cheng returned to the country quickly. At some elder's birthday party, he was impeccably dressed. He and Victoria were surrounded by a crowd. From a distance, even their silhouettes looked like a perfect match. I was left alone, surrounded by sarcastic remarks. Thank goodness Aiden is back. The way a certain someone has been carrying on these past few days has been truly disgusting. It's a shame, but a match between equals is how it's supposed to be. He and Miss Liao used to be engaged. No matter how tightly he clings to Miss Liao, it's useless. Who would want a fake when the real deal is here? They were trying to drive me away, while I started happily enjoying the free food. The chef's skills today were amazing, much better than the dishes Victoria usually made for me. Is that Ethan? Victoria's current boyfriend? Aiden Cheng suddenly walked over to my side. Victoria is my girlfriend now. I swallowed a piece of cake and delivered my prepared line, deliberately provoking him. So what? Victoria loves me very much. She won't break up with me. Based on the novels I'd read, Aiden should be furious at this point, bringing up the engagement and demanding that Victoria and I break up. That way, I could go with the flow. Don't worry, I'm not here to break you two up. Aiden lifted his chin, looking noble. In our circle, these things are very common. I can be magnanimous about it. It's just that you need to understand your place. In my presence, you must be respectful. What he said in English, when strung together, made no sense to me. Did Aiden really study abroad in England? Or was it the Qing dynasty? What are you talking about? Victoria walked over. Aiden smiled. We were just talking about our engagement. We don't have an engagement, Victoria cut him off. It was just a joke between our elders when we were children, and it was clarified long ago. After saying that, she looked at me. He's just joking, don't mind him. She explained it so quickly, leaving me no room to act. If you have any questions, just ask me directly. Don't sulk or make assumptions. Aiden forced a smile and walked away in a huff. When it rains, it pours. The system suddenly spoke up. Host. I sensed the heroine's presence. Since reconnecting, the system had been useless, serving only as a chatterbox and an alarm clock. This was the first time I'd heard news about the heroine. I quickly looked over. The heroine, Bella, was standing not far away. I squinted to get a better look. Her figure wasn't bad, but Victoria was taller and had a better physique. Her face was okay, but Victoria's features were more delicate. She couldn't compare to Victoria in any way. Not even a single strand of her hair was as glossy. Suddenly, my vision went dark as someone covered my eyes with their hand. Victoria said sarcastically, "You stared for a full 5 seconds, satisfied?" I blinked guiltily, my eyelashes brushing against Victoria's palm. She flinched slightly. Not satisfied? Even if I'm not, she's just a regular pretty girl on the street, nothing special. I don't know how she offended the great Miss Liao, I said. Do you often check out other people on the street? I never look at other people's boyfriends. Victoria pulled me away to meet the elders. The whole way, I was extremely nervous, my heart feeling like it would jump out of my throat. The system comforted me. Don't be afraid, host. This is a great opportunity. They will look down on you, humiliate you, and you will break down in tears, forced to leave Victoria. Stop reading so many romance novels. Aiden was also sitting with the Liao family. His phone was playing the video of me constantly calling during the alumni meetup. Aiden sneered, "A man should still have his own life. It's quite scary to be clinging to your girlfriend all day." He provoked me. "It seems Ethan doesn't have a job." All eyes turned to me. Although I had just criticized the system for its dramatic imagination, if the elders all looked down on me, Victoria would surely find it hard to withstand the pressure. I bit the bullet and started to badmouth myself. Not only do I not have a job now, but I don't plan on working in the future either. I just want to be a kept man. Aiden was smug. Parents are a child's best teachers. How can you raise the next generation of the Liao family like this? I believe in being dink, no kids. After saying that, I glanced at Victoria. The corners of her mouth were turned up. She was actually smiling. Ethan, I didn't realize you had planned so far ahead. I'll arrange the wedding at once. I was stunned, feeling like I was about to faint. That's not what I meant. I just meant that I'm a lazy bum, not suitable for marriage. I looked at Victoria for help. Aiden's mother was the epitome of a perfect high society daughter-in-law. She would surely stop Victoria. Unexpectedly, Victoria's mother spoke up like a whirlwind. "I'm going to Europe next year to expand the market. You two should try to get married in the second half of this year. Victoria, you can start preparing from today." My head was full of question marks. Why was this so different from what I had imagined? In the Maybach, Victoria was on the phone with her secretary. Keywords like wedding dress, jewelry, and private island made me feel even more desperate. It started as just a breakup, and now it had turned into running away from the altar. Victoria, first, it's not that I don't want to get married. Second, we've only known each other for half a year. Isn't this a bit too fast? Not fast at all. I've been looking forward to this day for a long time. I struggled desperately. Doesn't anyone in your family object? I won't sign a prenup, you know? If we divorce, I get half of your assets. Victoria pinched my ear. Don't worry, I'll handle all the difficulties. You don't have to do anything. Oh, right, there is one thing you need to do. Victoria leaned down. You have to write a self-criticism essay. You looked at someone else for a full 5 seconds today. 500 words isn't too much, is it? My mouth twisted. Not much, not much. That's reasonable. After all, the standard I had set for her was 3,000 words or more. I sat at my desk, scratching my head. After 10 minutes, I had only written the title. Summary and reflection on making my girlfriend angry. After that, I couldn't write another word. Seeing Victoria on the phone nearby, I sneakily took out my phone, planning to copy something from the internet. A new friend request popped up on WeChat with the note, "I'm Bella." My hand trembled and I accidentally accepted. The next second, a message from Bella came through. "Can we meet? I have something important to tell you. Don't let Victoria know." I stood there frozen, holding my phone, not knowing how to react, until Victoria took my phone from behind. No more copying from the internet. Seeing her about to unlock the screen, I immediately lunged forward, wrapping my arms around her waist and kissing the corner of her mouth. "I've realized my mistake. Can I not write it anymore?" Victoria raised an eyebrow. "One kiss to get out of 500 words? Ethan, that's not how business is done." She held me with one arm while typing in the screen password with the other. No, she absolutely could not see it. The system seemed to understand, comforting me. "It's okay. There's still a world that matches the host's frequency. We still have a chance." The system said I had 2 chances in total. Even if this world failed, there was still another one. But I didn't want to romance anyone else. "Next time, let's go to a world where I can survive on my own." It wasn't just because of Victoria. I was just tired, sick of this life of relying on others. The system said, "Okay, don't be afraid. Host, I'll be with you. You can definitely survive. There's 1 month left on the mission countdown. When the time comes, I'll die suddenly and leave this world." 1 month was before the wedding date Victoria had set. That was good. I wouldn't have to leave her hanging. I rejected Bella's invitation, but she directly cornered me downstairs from the company. "I can help you." Bella's car pulled up beside me, her expression dark. "I know your romance target is me." In the private room of a restaurant, Bella stared at my neck, where a red mark from Victoria's bite last night was still visible. Bella's expression was twisted. "It's okay that you got the wrong person. None of this is your fault. I know you don't really like Victoria." Bella suddenly tried to grab my hand, and I flinched back in fright. "Ethan, I know this might be hard for you to accept, but we're the ones who are supposed to be together. We're supposed to get married. For some reason, things got messed up, and you found the wrong person. But it's not too late." System, what on earth is going on? Has Bella awakened? The system didn't know either. If that was the case, wouldn't we complete the mission soon? I cautiously asked. "So what do you want to do?" Bella blurted out. "You stay with Victoria and find a way to steal the North City development plan for me. That plan is very important to me. With it, I can secure my footing in the Bella family. When that time comes, I'll marry you." Marry the mission target? Did that mean I had completed the mission to romance Bella? Bella was talking to herself, lost in her fantasy, her face ecstatic. I frowned, feeling disgusted. She's so stupid! Thank God I decided to give up on this mission, or I'd be disgusted to death. The system nodded furiously. "Exactly. Let's go back to Victoria and cleanse our eyes." I stood up to leave, but at that moment, the door to the room was forcefully pushed open. A few familiar faces, Victoria's subordinates, rushed in. I stared blankly behind them as Victoria, her face as cold as ice, sent a flying kick into the air. I stood there dumbfounded, with only one thought in my head. It's over. I'm about to be thrown into the sea. I can explain. Why didn't you reply to my messages? Victoria and I spoke at the same time. She looked down at me from above, her cold gaze sweeping over Bella. Meeting someone unimportant and not replying to my messages for over an hour. "Ethan, how many more self-criticism essays do you want to write?" I opened my mouth but couldn't say a word. Victoria waved her hand, signaling the bodyguards to take Bella away. Bella struggled violently. "Victoria, how dare you? I'm Ethan's romance target. He'll die if he's not with me. You should be on your knees begging me to marry him." No one paid her any attention. A bodyguard roughly covered her mouth and dragged her out. I asked in a small voice, "Is she going to be thrown into the sea?" Victoria froze, then laughed. "Ethan, what are you thinking? I'm a law-abiding citizen, she said casually. I'll just terminate my cooperation with the Bella family. Her brothers won't let her off easy. I don't need to get my own hands dirty. I pointed at myself. What about me? How are you going to deal with me? Victoria pondered for a moment. 3 self-criticism essays. After all, I'm very sad today. Why was Victoria so calm? I looked at her, bewildered. What Bella just said, Victoria cut me off. System number 233. The system was confused. How does she know my number? Victoria comforted me, stroking my head. Ethan, there are no more missions. This time, you're free. The precious daughter of the Liao family had a heart condition. When this news spread, the various branches of the Liao family gloated. Everyone secretly hoped Victoria would die soon. She couldn't run, couldn't have any emotional fluctuations, but she was extremely smart, constantly skipping grades, taking over the family business, a perfect heiress. The heart condition didn't cause Victoria too much trouble. Except for one time, after her college entrance exams, during a graduation trip, an accident happened. Victoria was set up by someone and fainted on a deserted road. The air grew thin. She wore a heart rate monitor on her wrist. The Liao family's medical team was on its way. But it was too late. She even started hallucinating. There was no one on the road, but suddenly, the figure of a young man appeared. He ran towards her. Is she the one I'm supposed to pick up? She looks so small. Is she even an adult? A moment later, the young man's hand was on her neck, then slowly and decisively pressed down on the center of her sternum. As he pressed, he spoke, sweat from his forehead dripping onto Victoria's face. Don't be afraid, I'm a professional. I studied for 5 years, and even though I died before graduating, a little CPR is no problem. Victoria looked through her blurry vision, only able to see the young man's flushed face. It was clearly just him, but Victoria heard another voice. An electronic one. Host, she's not the mission target. Leave her alone. My energy won't last much longer. We have to get there at the right time. I'm begging you. It's a human life. How can I not care? If we don't go now, we won't make it. You'll die. Didn't I already get hit by a car and die yesterday? What's the difference? She didn't know how long had passed. The sound of the ambulance arriving in time, the helicopter landing, all the sounds became clear. Except for the voice telling her to hold on, which had disappeared. Later, she woke up in a hospital bed, her palm clutching a button she had torn from his shirt, a reminder that it wasn't a dream. Recently, there was a big rumor in the upper-class circle. The illegitimate daughter of the Bella family had been acknowledged and even brought a boyfriend with her. Victoria had no interest in such gossip and was about to leave after hearing a snippet, but then she heard a young man talking. It was strange. He was clearly alone, but Victoria heard 2 voices. Even after her surgery and getting a healthy heart, she still dreamed of that day. The face she couldn't remember, the falling sweat, and the electronic voice. She would feel breathless again, her heart feeling like it was being squeezed. Host, there's someone behind you. The young man turned his head and looked at her. 10 years later, Victoria saw those eyes again up close. Victoria thought, it seems the surgery back then failed. Otherwise, why can't I breathe again? Who is she? Her name is Victoria Liao. She's the female lead of this world. She's so powerful. Why isn't she my romance target? It's my fault. The difficulty of romancing her is too high. I worked really hard to get the host an easier target. System. You're so kind. Ethan turned his head and walked past Victoria nonchalantly. Sigh, I actually don't like Bella at all. It's so annoying every time I see her. Oh well, for the sake of my life, I'll endure it. Victoria started attending social gatherings. If Bella was there, she would be too, because she could see Ethan. She calmly listened to Ethan and the system's mumblings and finally understood everything. But she couldn't stand seeing Ethan hover around Bella. A useless playboy, surrounded by butterflies, so dirty, completely unworthy of Ethan. Victoria tried to contact the system. At first, it was completely useless. She talked to herself in her room, trying so many times she almost thought she was going crazy. Until she heard that Bella was getting married to some rich, second generation as an heir. What would happen to Ethan then? If he didn't complete the mission, wouldn't he leave this world? He would fall back into the nightmare that had tormented her for 10 years. Her heart was filled with rage and unwillingness, and in that moment, the signal finally connected. The system was a little scared by her intensity, asking weakly, "Are you asking me to change the romance target to you?" No. Victoria didn't hesitate. He doesn't need to romance anyone. I just want him to live freely. Your luck is indeed enough for Ethan to complete the mission. But if you lose that luck, you'll no longer be favored by fate. It's fine. I don't need it. But something went wrong during the energy transfer. Victoria only heard the system's panicked voice say, "Energy overload," and then a blinding light, and she passed out. When she woke up, time had rewound 1 year, to the day it all began. Victoria woke up in a meeting room, her back drenched in cold sweat. She rushed to the location the system had mentioned and found Bella in the small alley. She was covered in injuries, lying on the ground like a dead dog. Victoria mercilessly grabbed her by the collar, threw her into a car, and took her to the hospital. Don't let her die, but don't let her get better too quickly either. Just then, footsteps came from the end of the alley, accompanied by Ethan's mumbling, "System, why did you go offline? Where is she? Why can't I find her?" Victoria had a bad feeling. Ethan no longer had a romance mission, so why was he still looking for someone? She didn't hesitate to take off her coat and use a knife to cut a long gash on her left arm. "It's fine. If he wants to find someone, I might as well let him pick me up." Ethan was a bit strange, suddenly monitoring her every move, sharing all sorts of boring, trivial things with her. Victoria was very happy, but then that wretched Bella appeared again. Victoria realized Bella might have remembered her past life and wanted to pursue Ethan again. But it didn't matter. Without the compulsory mission, what did she have to compete with her? Even in the past life, Ethan didn't like her. The wedding preparations were paused because Victoria said she was very sad and couldn't be coaxed. "Ethan, I thought you really liked me. But it turns out you just saw me as a mission. So there's no difference between me and Bella. We're both people you despise and want to abandon." Victoria looked aggrieved, her eyes red-rimmed. "I felt like a heartless scumbag. It was all my fault before, but I really do like you. Why won't you believe me?" I was getting anxious, reaching out to cup Victoria's face. "Look closely. Look into my eyes, they're full of sincerity. You're so beautiful, and you're so good to me. How could I not like you?" Victoria lowered her eyes, continuing to look wronged. "Forget it. Get off me." Victoria, her beautiful eyes held an indescribable charm. "You treat me like this. Then what do you want?" I had already sacrificed so much, trying a new position with her every day, and now I had dark circles under my eyes. Victoria took a thick folder from the bedside table, with 4 words written on it: "Prenuptial agreement. Sign it, and I'll forgive you." I glanced at it. Call wife 10 times a day. Check wife's phone at least 3 times a day. I was speechless. I had chosen the wrong approach back then. Victoria was the real clinger. "Weren't you annoyed when I was so controlling before?" "No." Victoria answered without hesitation. "Just the thought of you thinking about me every day made me very happy." "Victoria, I've waited 2 lifetimes for a wife. Have a little mercy on me." All right, I'll sign." "So, we're trying on wedding dresses tomorrow, right?" The end.